On the eastern coast of Odisha, the seaside city of Puri is dominated by this 10-acre footprint. This is the Jagannatha Temple complex, a massive, stone-walled compound that serves as the religious and architectural heart of the region. Beyond its scale, the site is defined by a series of documented physical anomalies. For centuries, visitors have reported flags fluttering against the wind, a complete absence of birds in the airspace above the spire, and ocean acoustics that seemingly vanish at the temple's threshold. These records point to a site with prehistoric roots. Long before the current stone structure existed, local Sabar tribes worshipped a deity of sapphire known as Nila Madhava in the depths of the surrounding forests. Legend states that King Indradyumna spent years tracking this tribal idol. When he finally located the site of worship, he mandated the construction of a monument that would formalize this ancient tribal shrine into an imperial center of power. This history created a unique architectural DNA. The Jagannatha Temple is a formal, imperial monument built directly upon the foundation of an ancient tribal animist tradition. The current 214-foot stone spire was commissioned in the 12th century by the Eastern Ganga dynasty, creating one of the tallest religious structures in India. Over the following 500 years, that height and the wealth within made it a constant military target. The temple archives record 18 separate invasions and plunders by Afghan and Mughal forces. To survive, the priests developed a mobile defensive strategy. Whenever an army approached, the wooden idols were smuggled out of the sanctum and hidden in secret locations around Chilika Lake and the neighboring mountains until the threat passed. This resilience continued into the 19th century. When the British East India Company attempted to manage the temple's administration and collect a pilgrim tax, a wave of missionary criticism in London eventually forced the colonial government to return control to the local Raja. Modern preservation has taken a structural turn. The recent Sri Jagannath Heritage Corridor project has cleared the area surrounding the Meghanad Pacheri, the temple's massive outer walls, to ensure the ancient stone remains unobstructed. Through centuries of warfare and colonial pressure, the Jagannatha Temple has functioned as an actively defended cultural stronghold, structurally and administratively outlasting the empires that sought to dismantle it. Every day, a priest free climbs the 214-foot dome to replace the temple flag, a ritual performed at the very limits of the structure's altitude. Once at the top, the flag displays an aerodynamic anomaly. It reportedly flutters in the exact opposite direction of the prevailing sea breeze. This high-altitude behavior extends to the surrounding airspace. Birds and commercial aircraft are notably absent from the sky directly above the spire, a phenomenon locals attribute to the temple's intense spiritual energy. At the spire's peak is the Nila Chakra, a flat, two-dimensional, 8-spoked disc made of 8 different metals. Despite its flat geometry, it creates a documented optical illusion. No matter where you stand in Puri, the face of the disc appears oriented directly toward you. At these heights, the temple spire creates persistent physical contradictions to standard fluid dynamics and perspective. These anomalies continue at the ground level, starting here at the Singhadwar, or Lion Gate. Standing just outside the entrance, the roar of the ocean waves is clearly audible, but the moment you pass through the gate and enter the temple grounds, that sound is completely muffled, as if crossing an invisible acoustic barrier. Deeper within the walls is the Rajagara, the temple's kitchen. It is one of the largest operational kitchens on Earth, designed to feed over 100,000 people in a single day. The cooking here follows a rigid thermodynamic protocol. 7 clay pots are stacked vertically, directly over a single wood fire. In this stack, the food in the topmost pot, the one furthest from the heat source, always cooks first. For the millions who enter these gates, these repeatable encounters with physical anomalies provide a tangible, daily intersection between the material world and the divine. The temple's most significant departure from tradition is the composition of its deities. While most major shrines use stone or metal, the idols here are carved from neem wood. Because wood is subject to decay, the temple performs a massive logistical operation called the Nabakali every 12 to 19 years. During this time, the old idols are buried and entirely new ones replace them. This process culminates in a midnight ritual known as the Brahma Parivartan. In total darkness, blindfolded priests transfer a mysterious, divine essence from the heart of the old idol into the new one. The secrecy of this transfer is absolute. According to temple tradition, any person who witnesses the essence with their bare eyes will die within a year. By centering its rituals on wooden idols, the temple aligns its deities with a mortal cycle of decay, burial, and rebirth. This cycle is shared with the public during the Ratha Yatra. This massive festival brings the wooden deities out of the temple and into the streets on 3 towering chariots. The engineering of these chariots is an annual feat. They are hand-built from scratch every year, using the same wooden chassis designs and assembly methods recorded in ancient temple manuals. Before the chariots can move, the Bajapati king, the traditional monarch of Puri, performs a ritual that defines the social logic of the festival. The king takes a golden broom and physically sweeps the ground in front of the chariots, acting as a humble servant to the deity. From the apex of its spire to the dust of its streets, the Jagannatha Temple operates on a logic where empirical physics bows to ancient ritual and where history is lived rather than archived.